you check the children? You're a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes. That is what
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
And you got Jaime Fuego here.
And we are here to do a trailer reaction trio because a lot has happened in the last 2 days as far as trailer goes. There's a trailer for The Last of Us. There's a trailer for Mr. Harrigan's Phone from like 12 days ago that we just never got around to watching. That's a new Stephen King thing that's coming out. So, of course, we have to react to that with Fuego. Someone actually requested to see his reaction to it, and I thought I had already done it, but I guess I was wrong. So, and then finally, they dropped the final trailer for Halloween Ends this morning. So we're going to go ahead and knock all three of those out. Let's start with Halloween Ends, Fuego.
Let's do it.
All right, so let me pull up that window so we can see that. I got to hide this.
Make sure my volume is adequately lessened so it's not going to bleed into the mix as it often does.
All right, and
the full screen, the sun bitch. Okay, cool. Oh, about 2.5 minutes. Okay.
all right, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's been 4 years
Yeah, it has.
since Michael Myers vanished without a trace.
Hello.
It's a time jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been living in the sewers.
Damn.
I was certain that I saw
Very
him
epic score. That's for damn sure.
watching me.
You pretend like you moved on, but you're actually just obsessed with death.
What are you gonna do when Michael comes back for you? Cause he is coming.
I can still hear yours pretty good.
But
Really?
this time, something feels different. He's more dangerous.
I'm already digging the vibe of this. A lot more than the last one. Alright.
He killed my daughter. But tonight, I will kill him. Come and get me.
Yep. Huh.
Like, that's great vision,
Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too. It all ends now.
right? Oh, okay.
You came here to kill me, so do it.
That was a good trailer.
Yeah, yeah. Solid
gotta say.
Anticipation.
Yeah, I was more into it than I thought I was going to be. It looks obviously a lot more like, the original Halloween than the, kills atmosphere that they cultivated in the last movie.
Which was so beyond silly for me.
Yeah, I really wasn't a fan either. It was so chaotic and so not Halloween through so much of the film that this definitely feels more like what it should be as far as Michael Myers goes, in my opinion, which I don't usually have much of one on Michael Myers, but this at least does look more along the lines of what I enjoy in a Michael Myers movie. So I'm excited about that. They did commit to, obviously, Judy Greer's character's death in the last one. So that's canon, apparently, which we probably knew, but this might have been the first time they confirmed it. But yeah, I enjoyed the feel of this trailer. I am looking forward to it, actually. What about you?
Yeah, it had more of a serious eeriness to it in comparison with like the over-the-top cheese, which was the last one where they're like, let's go for body count and get like really crazy and over the top with it. I mean, not like Rob Zombie over the top or anything. That was a different sort of craziness. But yeah, I mean, aside from a few of the lines of dialogue being just a little hammy, and like this ends and so on, which was kind of one of my faults of the previous one. Otherwise, this looks very solid. I like those initial shots and like the train sort of bits. And wasn't he living like was it 4 or 5 that he was like kind of out in the wilderness and just or out in the middle of nowhere or something like that? So kind of
he was recuperating for a long time.
Yeah, just but yeah, it's solid trailer. And I mean, this isn't one that I'm just like over the moon to go watch in a theater. As I admitted the other day during the other reactions, I'll probably watch it on Peacock, but nonetheless, yeah, I mean, hoping it's a solid end. So
yeah, I'm not sure I am a fan of, like, I like the moment where he rises up behind her, and then they show the footage of the first one with him rising up behind her. Like, I like that kind of homage thing. I don't like as much the fact that they repeat one exact kill from the first one with the dude that he pins to the wall with the knife, like literally doing the exact same thing. And like, I to me, the difference, some people might be like, well, that's exactly the same as the other thing that you just complimented. I disagree. I think that having him rise up behind her is an homage. It's just a little beat. But copying an entire kill exactly, I don't know. There's a way to homage that kill without doing it the exact same. It just feels like they're doing that the exact same, but being more homage with the stand-up bit. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's nitpicky, but that's my thought.
No, man, I can feel you there, because I think there is definitely a difference between a callback and just straight up copying it, so...
Yeah, okay, fair. So I'm not completely crazy on that.
No.
Maybe Halloween heads are gonna love that. I just, again, there's a way to homage it without, stick him to a ceiling or something. You know what I mean? He's tall enough. Fucking stick him to the ceiling instead.
One of his selling points, like the size and whatnot.
But yeah, I don't know. I do like the. It seems like they've toned down a bit of her manicness in this. I'm not sure how that would be the case after having to wait another, like, she waits 40 years for him to come back, and then she has to wait another 4 years to finish it off again. Like, you'd think she'd be even more rattled, but she actually looks a little more put together, even though she didn't kill him, and even though he killed her daughter, she's still not that rattled.
Yeah, it's the whole ebb and flow of all of this. I mean, it still kind of feels like, dare I say rehash, because we've seen her just ready for a final confrontation, even before this new trilogy, in various others where, I mean, H2O, which we've talked about, where she was much more calm and composed in that. So, I mean, I'm kind of in some ways ready for this franchise to end, but I still have a sneaking suspicion that they're gonna shift to some other iteration, or
sneaking suspicion. Jason Blum already said there's gonna be more Halloween movies.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, Laurie dies, but
right, finally.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I should say.
Yeah, and then maybe we find something for Terrace to do, because she has been very vocal about the fact that she has ideas and really wants to come back. I mean,
Danielle, no, they can't do that, because that's still, they can't go back to Michael Myers as well. I don't think anymore. Well, I mean, I don't know. Who am I to say? Unless they're trying to pass it on to a new person or something. It just feels like if they keep going with it, he was already in his 60s in the H2 or Halloween 2018. And then, then now it's 4 years after that. So if they go again with this same Michael Myers, he's going to be in his 70s and 80s. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, so he was supposed to be a real person in those, the original couple films. And then I know in 4, 5, and 6 at one point, because it's been a while since I've watched them, he did become like a supernatural being, correct?
Well, it was all because of the Cult of Thorn.
In the 6th one, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's no, they started it in the 5th one. There was someone walking,
but
we saw his shoes
exponentially.
Yeah.
One with Paul Rudd. So, yeah, man. I mean, it's never, as we both probably said on this channel various times, it's not one of my personal favorite franchises. Like, I appreciate aspects of it. I totally do. But I've never been just like crazy rabid about the Halloween franchise. So, I don't know. But if Blum has said that there's going to be more, I would say this is just Laurie's last ride, finally, and then who knows how they'll forge forward. But I was just saying that they would probably, at his alleged age, have to go with some sort of supernatural element, just to kind of make it seem feasible. But who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I guess we'll find out. We'll see how it ends very soon. So, all right,
Yeah,
that'll do
October
it.
14th, I think, is when it's dropping.
Yep, I think so too. So let's move on to the next trailer.
Now, this is one that I know you're stoked as hell for. I was shocked you didn't just do a reaction yourself to this yesterday.
I almost
I
did,
know.
but then I saw someone say that Halloween Ends trailer is probably coming out today, so I was like, we'll just save it.
So you said during our reaction roundup that we filmed on Sunday that this is like your favorite video game ever. But this is what this is based on, right?
Yes, yep. I think ultimately, when it all boils down to it, it is my favorite video game ever because it was just my favorite video game experience, and it made me feel more than any other video game. I do hold certain Zelda games very close to my heart, but otherwise it's Last of Us, it's Ghost of Tsushima now. It's like stuff that has been just raising the bar. Elden Ring is up there now too, like it's crazy. But this one still holds a high place for me, so.
Yeah, as far as like emotional storytelling goes, I still remember when we watched the trailer with her playing the guitar many years
For
ago.
part
That was
2,
the
yeah.
second one, right? Yeah, and I could just say that, I mean, between the quality of the graphics at this particular point, with gaming looking pretty much, I mean, as perfect in comparison with a real person as possible, and yeah, I just got the vibe of that, just the desolation and despair and raw emotion. So I'm very curious what HBO is going to do with this, man.
So I have the 1:48 long trailer here.
Yep, I have the one from HBO Max.
Yep. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. The score was one of my favorite things of the game, so I'm hoping the score isn't far off.
I like this desolate country kind of vibe.
Is starting to die, and out in the darkness the whippoorwills cry.
Nice.
Yeah,
Copyright claim immediately, but
yeah, 100%. It's a creepy looking tower they just showed.
that shot of the buildings was awesome. Oh, clicker! Ooh!
Whatever that sound is.
That's a clicker.
Like a zombie kind of thing? Or... Oh, that's the fact that the Chernobyl people were
Yep.
used, remember? We
Yep.
were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is your chance.
Oh, with Walking Dead about to go off the air, like,
You keep her alive.
step right in.
And
Oh,
you
is
said
that
everything.
is that what it is?
Ooh. Yes.
Whoa!
Yes.
What the hell was that?
That was a clicker.
You can save her.
Oh, so are they like mutants or something, or?
So the idea is it's a cordyceps virus. The cordyceps is basically a fungus.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this when we were watching some of those films last
Yes.
year. I'm trying to remember a few of their names, and they're eluding me, unfortunately.
Yeah, there was one in particular that did that specifically, that cordyceps virus, that basically had clickers as the bad guys. Fudge, I can't remember what the name was.
It wasn't In the Earth. That was one that I had watched, certainly.
No, it was about the same.
I still remember the poster so distinctively because there was like grassy fungus growing out of a person, and they were like screaming, and it looked hella crazy.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was
Yeah,
called either.
me neither. God damn it.
We
Oh,
did
well.
it in a review roundup, I know, but yeah, the storytelling was phenomenal in the video game. It is perfect for a series. Thank goodness they did a series and not a movie. That's going to make a huge difference. But I agree with you. Like this to me would be like old school event television. It's going to capture that audience that Walking Dead did, but it's, I'm hoping that everything is done the same way as the game because it was so good. But the actress is going to be, I'm a fan of what I've seen so far of what she's bringing to the table. Obviously, Pedro Pascal knows what he's doing. So I don't know. I'm on board for this. Your audio was blended with the trailer audio a bit. So what were some of the things you were saying?
I love the desolation. I'm digging like some of these other cast members that they only show these brief little glimpses of. Most notably, the lead lady from Yellow Jackets. I'm wondering who she's playing.
Probably Tessa.
She
Character
looks like
named
she's
Tessa.
she looks like she's got kind of a villainous ominous to her. I'm trying to find, and so she's at the 103 mark.
103. Let me see.
Yeah.
103.
I want
Because
to
Tessa has a very clear.
trying to find the name of the actress real quick. Melanie Linsky. Yeah. Yeah, she was doing a lot of comedy and stuff, but she's been veering more so in the dramatics. And she's
I don't think that's Tessa after all. I don't know. It could be Tessa. It might not be. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I don't know.
And then Storm Reed is in it. She's also in one particular shot as well earlier on.
Does it differentiate itself from Walking Dead enough for you, or does it just feel like another kind of Walking Dead?
Well, and not even just Walking Dead, Why the Last Man. So many of these like post-apocalyptic-y and dystopian sort of things that I've watched over the last decade or so. I'm not really getting much of a story vibe. I'm getting more of a vibe as opposed to a story. I would imagine once we have some like a next trailer with dialogue and kind of more of an explanation maybe as to how we got to a world like this.
So the story is really cool. Basically, Pedro Pascal sustains a loss early. Oh no, that was Tess. At about 47 seconds, that's Tess. I think that's got to be Tess. But anyway, so this virus sweeps the nation.
Woman on the left there. Okay.
Yeah, the game starts with Joel, Pedro Pascal's character, as the world breaks out with the virus, essentially. And then it skips forward a number of years, and he is tasked with escorting this girl across, a section of America to a place where a group called the Fireflies are. The reason they're escorting her is because she is the only one that has, to anyone's knowledge, been bitten or rather infected, but not turned.
Oh, okay, so it's taken that angle. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he's her guardian as they go across the country. So it's really a cool idea, and the end is super aggressive, but it's going to be a great ending to play out dramatically on television, because it was for the game. Like, the end packs such a huge punch. So it's really, really exciting. So yeah, I'm super pumped about this after this trailer. This looks amazing.
Yeah, well, as a fan of the game, if it's getting your stamp of approval, man, I mean, that's definitely high praise, obviously.
I personally would have liked it if Troy Baker did it himself, and the girl from the game is just a little bit older now, but yeah, they were so good in the game. I'm
just glad it's not like zombies, that it's something, different as far as an infection goes, and I also like the, pseudo-westerny kind of vibe. I guess The Walking Dead went for that as well, with occasionally riding horses and things of that nature. So is like society completely broken down, no electricity or anything
for the
like
most
that,
part,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm stoked, man. I mean, just based on the fact that it's HBO, the fact that Pedro Pascal gets another one of these very iconic roles that is so beloved, because like Game of Thrones and Mandalorian, so he just keeps rolling, dude. But he's a hell of an actor. Even comedically, if you've seen the Nick Cage movie that he did, he was great in that too. But
I still haven't seen that. No.
Yeah, it's fun. But no, I'm definitely into this, and we sure as hell will all be watching it on the show, I'd imagine. So.
All right, so let's move on to the one I know you want to watch, Mr. Harrigan's Phone.
Yeah, so based on a novella from the recently released If It Bleeds. And
wow, that was recent, yeah.
Yeah, so it was the first story in that collection. So this is one of the few that they announced that they were going to make, because pretty much any new King property, even Fairy Tale, the most recent novel that came out, immediately they were like, oh, Paul Greengrass is going to make it into a movie. I'm like, okay, it's like the rights are scooped up immediately, but all too often, like, it takes years to come into fruition, or often we don't even see it happen at all. But this one, they fast-tracked, and being Netflix, they got it done. So I'm especially excited about this because of just our two leads. You've got, I believe his name is Jaden Martell. He was the one who played Big Bill in in the most recent It and the 2017 and Chapter 2, and then he was also in The Lodge. So he's an esteemed young actor, and then playing the namesake character, Mr. Harrigan, is Donald Sutherland. I was about to say Kiefer, his son, for a second. So, I mean, between those two leads, I didn't love the source material, though. It echoed back to a few other King things a little too much that I'd read before. It still was not without its charm, but hey, Netflix has a pretty solid track record with Stephen King between 1922 and Gerald's Game, so I'm hoping this is good.
All right, well, let's give it a try in 3, 2, 1, go.
You are a far different person now from who you were when we met.
Back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes, walking blues.
This is one that was not really horror, per se, so.
Because I enjoy our time together.
I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
iPhones just came out.
Thank you.
Let's give you a nickname.
Easy promotion,
Wicked.
Apple.
Yeah.
I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
That
Mr.
kid, he
Harrigan,
plays a bully
has
in, like,
anyone ever tried to
everything.
take advantage of you? How'd you deal with that?
Harshly.
Oh, Ryan Murphy, too.
Yeah. That was another reason why I was like, okay, let's see what they do with this.
I've got some really bad news.
Oh.
I will call you back if it seems appropriate.
Mr.
Yeah,
Harrigan,
that's what he says.
I wish that you were here. I got beat up pretty bad, and I want him to get what he deserves.
Nice. Nice.
You see, maybe this could be one that
But you didn't
can
want
be
to be on
elevated
his
from the
bad
page.
side. If Mr. Harrigan had anything to do with anyone dying, that made me an accessory.
It's a tragic accident, that's all.
Yeah, they are doing some expansion.
My grandma always used to say, a
Once again,
person
making the
shouldn't
happy
call
so
out
creepy.
unless they want an answer.
Yeah, PG-13 as expected. It's nothing too extreme in the source material, but
That's kind of cool. I mean, it's horror enough.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't really get there in the novella until later in the proceedings, but nonetheless, I as being someone who wasn't like super into the source material, this, I don't know, sometimes when you see it visually, it can have a little more heft because you don't really get into anything crazy with the horror aspect until like really the back half of it. And I still feel like it skims over it more, and it's just about this kid growing up and going through high school after, you know, losing this like grandfatherly figure, which, you know, is a very common theme. This had lots of echoes of Hearts of Atlantis to it, just a little bit darker. So
Yeah.
what do you think, man? I mean, since I'm the one who's familiar with the story, what from that you've
I
seen?
like it. I like the idea. I mean, you know, it's not terribly far off of the concept that, you know, we just saw from Joe Hill, the Black Phone, right? But it's still, I like the idea. It's cool. I mean, it's, you know, it's a different version of the story. Like usually if this comes like 5 years apart from the Black Phone, there might be echoes of it, but it wouldn't be as, you know, forefront of the mind, you know what I mean? But I don't particularly mind it. If the story seems good, then I'm gonna give it a try, and this story seems good. Plus it's coming to Netflix, which I already have, so
Yeah, there you go. And also, this is one that we might get early, you were saying, or
I put in for it. We'll see.
Put in for it. We'll see. Okay.
They haven't responded about it yet, but
mayhaps. Okay. Yeah, but now that I think about it, and with you mentioning Joe's story, which was, you know, published way before If It Bleeds, this does in a lot of ways feel like a melding of that Hearts in Atlantis aspect of, you know, younger kid, you know, strikes up friendship with, and, you know, older grandfatherly sort of figure and whatnot, and then meld that with some of the sensibilities of, you know, the Black Phone. So
yeah, well, all right. still, it looks like it's going to be a worthwhile watch at the very least.
Oh, most definitely, and I'm excited for it, especially since there's no other confirmed King adaptations on the horizon after they pulled Salem's Lot from the release schedule. So this is all we got for now. So, I'm gonna try to be moderately excited for it. So.
All right, well, that's going to do it, you guys. Why don't you let us know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on any or all of those trailers? I'm wondering if we're going to get roasted for not loving Halloween Ends, but I actually did enjoy that trailer. But
I was more into this one than the last one. With it ends tonight, and I'm like, oh, or
Evil dies tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. That's going to be it for us. Thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the channel the way that you do. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
And gracias, I've been Jaime and Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.
Stay scared.